dawn in the desert, and after a slightly more uncomfortable night's sleep than they are perhaps used to, the bikers prepared to complete the 48-hour chrono stage. These simple bivouacs are a throwback to the early days in Africa, a long way from sleek motorhomes, hot showers and team chefs, not to mention team mechanics. But you can always get a little help from your friends, and this morning Mason Klein needed it. Yet more issues with the Covey, so Nasser Al-Attiyah and Gerlan Shishiri tried to give him a jump start.
Maybe you have to wait, Mason.
Yeah.
Let the battery charge a little bit.
Back to Mason in a moment. Let's just remind ourselves of where the riders and drivers are heading today. They will leave their different bivouacs this morning and complete whatever remains of the special before returning to Shubaita and boarding a flight to Riyadh for the rest day. Well, Klein was eventually able to get going from the bivouac, but his rally came to an end in these dunes. After all of his ups and downs over the first week, it's a real shame to see the American heading home, but if you can't finish the special in the Rally GP class, it's game over. Mason's engine gave up the ghost and he had to be helicoptered out of the dunes. The bike clearly not happy here, and the lack of proper testing time cost Klein dear.
I feel like I made it so far, and I was also so close. I think the engine broke. I tried really hard to take it easy and get it there, but couldn't make it happen. Really sad. Also, I guess, not allowed to restart in my class, so that's a super bummer, you know. Just want to ride, so now I guess figure out a plan for next year.
Charan Moore won the original Beaumatul class last year and raised enough money to pay for a place on the renowned HT Rally Raid team at Dakar 2024. The South African has had some ups and downs, but he has made it to the rest day in 22nd place overall, meaning he's the highest ranked rider on his team. Training back home with his good friend Ross Branch has clearly paid off. He is now seeking a paid entry to Dakar 2025. Tony Moulet is riding his second Dakar, having come 24th on a Husqvarna last year. He switched to the Bass World KTM team. So far so good for the enduro and motocross specialist, even if he says that he's still making too many navigation mistakes. Moulet is 16th overall, just behind his teammates Paolo Lucci and Bradley Cox. But our new leader in the Rally 2 class is Jean-Loup Lepin, who made the most of Romain Dumontier running out of fuel in the empty quarter. The Frenchman did have a scare when he crashed yesterday, but both he and the bike were unscathed. The Dust Rally rider is absolutely flying. He's in 10th place overall. But another Rally GP rider fell victim to the empty quarter today, Joan Barreda. The Spaniard did a sensational job opening yesterday, spending 7 hours at the front of the race, but he was undone by a clutch problem and a flat battery, which left him unable to restart. That is now back-to-back withdrawals for Barreda since coming 5th in 22. Honestly, I'm a bit sad, especially after all the great work that we did yesterday. But that's how it goes. We tried to give it our all, we made it this far, but now we just have to look to the future. As I say, it's a shame after everything we've done, but it's like that. The Sherco factory team lost Lorenzo Santolino early on, while Rui Gonçalves has plummeted down the standings during the 48-hour chrono. However, the team's third rider, Harit Noah, is doing a very fine job. The Indian currently sits in 13th place overall, and he's third in Rally 2. Noah has only finished the Dakar once in 4 appearances, but this could turn into his best performance yet. The same is true of Ross Branch, who's reached the halfway stage of the rally in 2nd place overall. The Motswana said this was one of the toughest rally stages in his whole life, describing today's short spin over the soft sand as the cherry on top. Even if he has now lost all of his teammates, Branch is happy to have got through the toughest stage. He finished in 5th place and sits just 51 seconds off the pace. Daniel Sanders was pleasantly surprised that he lasted so long on such a physically demanding outing. Given his lack of physical preparation, the Australian did remarkably well to come fourth, gritting his teeth and battling through the pain in his leg. Sanders is now looking forward to collapsing into a nice comfortable bed on the rest day. Well, Ricky Brabeck said he doesn't even need a rest day tomorrow. The American had a lot of fun, whether it was surfing the dunes or enjoying last night's campfire at the makeshift bivouac. He's very happy with how it's going, and why wouldn't he be? He is our new overall leader.
I feel good. I mean, I'm ready to go for the second week. My finger's a little sore from the clutch over the last 2 days, but overall was fun. I enjoyed it. I know some of the guys are saying it's too much, but hey, it's a Dakar. It's not easy, and looking forward to rest day tomorrow and the final week.
Most of the top riders, including Toby Price, agreed that the 48-hour chrono stage was something very different, albeit very exhausting. The Australian said the most important thing was just staying on two wheels, and despite one minor slip-up, that is exactly what he did, finishing second on the stage. He is now 27 minutes back in 5th place overall. But the prestigious Stage 6 victory went to the San Supremo, Adrian van Beveren. The Frenchman played a tactical masterstroke by getting himself into a good position to attack in the dunes, his favourite playground, and he ended up fully 4 minutes quicker than anybody else. Van Beveren is also right back in the game overall, within 10 minutes of his teammate Brabeck. This was a really important stage for me. It was always the plan to attack hard, and I set off in a good position. It was great, and it's always good to win a stage, especially this 48-hour chrono. The Benavides brothers both finished inside the top 7 on the stage, with Luciano around 6 minutes ahead of Kevin. Stefan Zvitko also continuing his impressive run in 8th over the 2 days. Brabeck leads Branch by 51 seconds overall, while his fellow Hondas Van Beveren and Nacho Cornejo are within 15 minutes. Zvitko and Le Pont round out the top 10. Now in today's feature we're going to be hearing all about Niels Terrik. The Frenchman is just inside the top 25 for the Covey factory team, which he joined after impressing on his debut last year.